Games journalists, I can never underestimate how foolish they truly are, because here they are, trying to hitch the wagon of their remaining credibility. Not with the general public. Everybody already knows that they're trash at this point in time, even the former recovering games journalists, because we already know that they're going to have a crappy take on, well, just about everything in life. But I digress. They're trying to hook their wagon, okay? The more leftist ones that are out there, there are some that are fine, but in general, like my previous statement stands, they're trying to tell you that actually DEI consultancy firms don't do what you think that they do, and in fact, the games that have been releasing in recent years have been fantastic. So I don't know what you chuds are complaining about, but let's take a look. Emma Kent. Well, I could go ahead and replace the E with a U, and I think it would be a little bit more appropriate. A former games journal at Eurogamer. Oh, right, the same Eurogamer that gave that game being depicted right there on the left, in the left picture. A perfect 10 on 10 Dragon Age the Veilguard, of course, who now freelances as a mock reviewer for video game developers. Interesting. Attempted to gaslight gamers on what DEI consultants are doing. Well, we all know, right? Like we've seen and we've heard specifically from, the likes of Black Girl Gamers, Hit Detection, Anita Sarkeesian, if we want to pull out an old classic, and of course, Sweet Baby Inc. They are there to diversify games to make them more appealing to a wider audience, and of course, inject their own personal politics, because games need to reflect what they are, and if the developers don't want to let them, shout out Kim Belair, you need to terrify them as to what's going to happen if you don't, or if they don't get the message and they don't get what they want. In a thread on X, Kent wrote, "Hello, game consultant here." Yeah, which is just a fancy way for a gig worker, a part-time cam girl. The idea that consultants are forcing diversity into games is ridiculous. Oh, right, yeah, see? Guys, don't believe your lying eyes. Don't troll through the credits of a game that you see that looks inherently woke and see one of these consultancy firms and connect the dots there. Don't believe your lying eyes. Listen to me. Emma Kent, right. And don't, also, if you don't want to take my word for it, don't listen to the games journalists that are coming out and saying, no, that is exactly what we're doing. But okay, because 99% of the time, the devs have already decided what they want their game to be inclusive, and just want to help fine-tune how certain stories come across. Hope this helps. Well, there's a little bit of truth to that. Some unintended, because I don't want to give her any credit, because I think that she's a very stupid person to come to that conclusion and to put that out there for the world to digest, I guess. That's funny, because it also looks like from that screenshot right there, she turned off the comments, because yeah, I would say from a lot of Western developers that are out there, they want this stuff. They want all the stuff that your regular peddler, or your grifters and peddlers of woke identity politics, that they would want to come in and put, and they're like, well, we don't have any notes because you've already made this sufficiently appealing to the modern audience. Good on you. And then they, I don't know, stand around a cracker, and then in their case, the winner gets to eat it at the end. But yeah, just the admission that, oh, these consultants just come in and they help fine-tune the stories. Where, yeah, I'm sure Sweet Baby Inc. helped fine-tune the story of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League by making sure that it was Harley Quinn that put one between the eyes of Batman after this long and protracted diatribe. I'm sure it was the consultants that came up with the idea that it would be great that Captain Boomerang would be the one to piss on the corpse of the Flash after he helped the quote-unquote heroes of the story escape the clutches of Brainiac and Jon Stewart's Green Lantern. I'm sure they were just out there making little suggestions, right? And yeah, I mean, like, you got the connected article that I'm sure I covered in one of the videos that are out there, but Sweet Baby Inc. employee admits the goal is to burn the games industry to the ground. They just help fine tune, okay? So they just provide the kerosene. They don't just spark the match or pick out the target, okay? In the subsequent post, she continued, oh, great. People peddling this conspiracy theories are fabricating rage bait content to grow their YouTube channels. It's always projection with these hacks, man. Like, they're just so mad because they can't get traction at all. Because, okay, what? You used to work at Eurogamer, a dying outlet. Now you're a freelance games journalist. Yeah, because you weren't even good enough to be stuck around dying Eurogamer. Like, just stop it, bro. You're just mad that there's other people that have charisma, that can get on camera, that can formulate a video, that can amass a following independent of a big daddy corporation over the top of it. Sucks to suck to be, stuck in that mindset that you think that, oh man, these people just have to peddle misinformation to the public. How sad that there are so many sheep that are out there. They don't understand how the industry actually works, nor do they care to learn, because they're simply seeking engagement. Right, says the person who deliberately misrepresents what's going on in order to seek engagement. The fact that this is being brought up again in reference to Dragon Age: The Veilguard is particularly laughable. And that's where my description at the beginning, where in summarization of her first tweet, that a lot of the developers, they actually want this stuff. BioWare, I mean, their insanity predates Dragon Age: The Veilguard, okay? Mass Effect Andromeda did come out in 2017, and it had all of these hallmarks as well. Yes, this is laughable. I don't need to provide any proof of any of my assertions. I can just simply say, you're all wrong, deuces, the link in bio. Have the people throwing these force the DEI allegations ever actually played a BioWare game? Yeah, a bunch. More than you have, I bet. I've actually been watching pretty closely a bunch of different people play Veilguard, and the clips also speak for themselves. Whether or not that's a consultancy firm, which I don't know if they're any specifically attached to BioWare right now, even though very famously ahead of the release of Mass Effect Andromeda, Anita Sarkeesian rocked up at the Edmonton offices. So yeah, they could just be ground zero when it comes to just Western developer wokeness. But hey, you know, if she wants to grandstand on a popular topic, I won't begrudge her of doing that. It's just, you should probably get your sources and your examples more tightly connected to your topic. Otherwise, you're going to look like a jackass. First off, yes, DEI consultants are indeed trying to force diversity into games. And yes, of course, this was, I don't know, maybe prior to the scrub of Sweet Baby Inc., but they're out there telling you that our mission is to tell a better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video game industry. We aim to make games more engaging, fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. You know what that sounds like to me? Putting a couple of suggestions on a post-it note, of course. And then, of course, yes, citing Kim Belair's very famous GDC speech from 2019. Terrify your marketing department, and numerous other examples throughout the article as well. But here's the thing, man. There's a lot of people that wouldn't have a problem with consultancy firms. I'm sure that they've existed for a long time, and just in late 2023 all the way into 2024, they have become a hot button topic in gaming, mostly because we can see the diminishing quality when it comes to AAA games whenever these people are involved. You can see just how poorly written this stuff is. Like, the dialogue is atrocious across the board. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Dragon Age: The Veilguard and everything in between this year has been 7 shades of shit. And that also has a knock-on effect when it comes to gameplay, because there's a lot of people that are out there that, you know, of course, you know, if you get a full experience where you get compelling gameplay and an excellently written story, that makes for a masterful video game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But sometimes if one has a little bit of a shortcoming, okay, your characters, or maybe, you know, the plot's a little bit flumpy, but the gameplay's top tier, that's just not the case with any of these games. Live service slop with Justice League, and then just press square to win when it comes to Dragon Age. Like, it's all bad across the board. There isn't one of these consultancy games that we've heard pop up saying that, you know what, it's kind of decent despite these intrusions. It just doesn't happen. And that's why you have game after game failing on its face. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Like, what's it pulling in when it comes to players right now? Is it in on and around 100? Dustborn, how you doing out there? Both of the people playing that game, and that might even be an exaggeration at this point in time. I'm waiting until later in the week when it comes to talking about Dragon Age: The Veilguard, going to check in on that after its big peak on Sunday of 89,000 players. I wonder how many people dropped off because they died of cringe. But all of these examples, okay, even the ones that presage this year, like Spider-Man 2, not making back its money, scrapping additional DLC plans, just having Insomniac trudge forward on the Wolverine game that looks beleaguered at best, but hey, there's a couple of signs that maybe it could be turning the corner. Who knows on that one? Insomniac's a hell of a good studio. It's just very unfortunate that they had to get in bed with, oh right, Sweet Baby Inc., and then the moment that they did that was the moment that their quality dipped a little bit, but I'm sure that's coincidental again, right? And, oh yeah, Alan Wake 2, still yet to recoup any of its costs, right? Still hasn't made back its budget, but trust me though, it's a really well-written story with the race-swapped main character, not Alan Wake, by the way. You get to play a Sarga Anderson who looks like she's straight out of Compton. out there in Scandinavia, reinforcing herself as, oh, you're so smart and you're so brave and you're so wonderful and fantastic and the best suited for this job. This is the type of stuff that these idiots think is helping to diversify and inclusify video games. And while their games continue to fail, one that looked like it was earmarked for failure, Silent Hill 2 Remake, when they came out with a very stupid statement that, yeah, okay, Blooper Team is working on the Silent Hill 2 Remake and they're making all of these changes to appeal to the modern audience. And then the game came out and all of those people that are just out there trying to drum up rage played the game and yeah, they enjoyed it. Oh, big shock on that one, huh? All of these people that are sounding the alarms on bad games when there's a good one that comes along, even though if it ends up subverting their expectations, they're willing to change their mind on things. House of the Dragon, when it comes to television shows, was that same case, and the justification for all of these weirdos who would normally be out there running cover for those goofy-ass consultation and big business firms were out there saying, oh, they had to change their opinion because their audience would have revolted against them. So you are just off your rocker at this point in time. But yeah, because Silent Hill Remake was so well received, it's not like it's going to win Game of the Year or anything like that. Like, from the people that played it, thought that it was solid because of the new art style, or I guess the technical improvements. Some of the mystique and atmosphere ended up getting undercut a little bit, but still overall a solid 6 or a 7, which is great, fantastic, especially in the year of midgets that is 2024. 4'8" man towers over the 4'4" crowd. But you see this, right? Like, there's a new patch that went out, the 1.04 update, reduced Maria's head by 30% and added 30% more titty. Interesting. I got a couple of screenshots here and I find this, yeah, very odd, given the fact that, okay, this is a little bit more than shaders because you can actually see the inclusion of cleavage this time around. And, well, yeah, because you can see there it is as opposed to there it's not. Okay, maybe that's just one setting, but I don't know, she kind of looks a little bit more haggardly, but given the fact that it is a horror game, you know, on the right here, and yeah, she her dome looks a little bit more reserved. And the hair physics got a hell of a lot better in that update. That's kind of crazy. And then, yeah, this is probably the most stark example of the big changes that's right there. And yeah, obviously, there was something going on at Konami and with Blooper Team where they're like, oh, okay, cool, we're actually getting favorable reception. Yeah, just strip out all of that stuff that was pushing people off of it to begin with, where you had to come out and say, just please give our game a chance. And people did. And it's like, oh, okay, here's your reward, I guess. Because at the end of the day, man, we're out here just simply trying to advocate for good entertainment. Okay, there was a long period of time, it came right after Mass Effect Andromeda, and I've talked about this multiple times recently, so I'll keep it brief on this go round. I got out of entertainment because all of the stuff that I was seeing was absolute trash. Iron Man 3 killed any hope that I had for new movies. The Dark Knight Rises never made me want to go back to a theater, and I still haven't. The last movie I ever seen in the theaters, and I was just kind of done with entertainment. I thought, you know what, if I could just go ahead and engage with older music, older media, well, that's fine. The new stuff, if there's something good that comes along, you know, every once in a while, maybe I'll check it out later down the line. Because I took that approach, and so many other people did that were disillusioned with the entertainment landscape in that 2016 through 2017, 2018 area, it's kind of culminated with what we have right here. And at the end of the day, we're still gamers. We're still very passionate about this stuff because it means a lot to us. Honestly, as somebody who has a Steam library of over 1,000 games, and I probably have as many physical copies across 5 generations. Let me think. I got PS1 games. PS1, 2, 3, 4, now 5, right? So yeah, 5 generations right there. And then even before that, had an N64. Actually, I think my folks still have that, so I probably still have the N60. Oh, that it piggybacks off the PS1. But before that, you know, had the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and then also had the NES. So I'm a lifelong enthusiast. And I've thought about why it means so much to so many people for quite a long time, and especially with all of the crap and controversy that has come out this year, it is something that has weighed heavy on me for a while, and, you know, just a constant point to ponder. But I've never heard it articulated, the importance of gaming, the importance of proper escapism, quite the way that Elon Musk, of all people, starting off his most recent appearance, dropping the day before the election, bro, November 4th, they come out with this hot fire podcast, which, honestly, I listened to a little bit of it, okay? You know, the day before the election was pretty busy, and it's been a minute since I've had the opportunity to sit down and enjoy a podcast that's been, go, 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 go recently. But honestly, I was going to go check out the JD Vance interview with Joe Rogan because I'm still backlogged on that one. And then I see Elon Musk's down there, and then they start off the conversation by talking about gaming of all things. Like, bro, what? And the relevant points that come up. And I thought that this was very interesting. Okay, Elon Musk on video games. I'm in the top 20 in the world in Diablo 4. And yeah, somebody has it posted right there. And, there's Elon Musk, like the legit Elon Musk, ranked in 19. I don't know what that means in Diablo 4, by the way. I'm listed with my actual name on the list. There's only 2 Americans in the top 20, and I'm one of them. That's pretty cool. Now, it's a shame it's Diablo 4 and not like an actual good game. But still, when you get hunkered in on something, like there was a point in time where, Guitar Hero, I'm pretty sure it was, oh no, it would have been Rock Band 2, right? Yeah, I remember the UI. It's pretty much ingrained in my mind, but had a couple of top 5 scores on the Xbox 360 side of things, back in the cut, and that was the far more competitive side of things. A lot of the competitions were taking place over there, so yeah, it's a pretty big accomplishment for me. It's something that I've poured thousands of hours into. So this is something that, I can personally relate to, okay? Not like that's important, but still, just giving a little bit insight, a little sugar, a little spice on it, huh? If I play video games on extreme difficulty, I have to concentrate fully on the game, and it has a calming effect. I think anything that forces you to concentrate fully has a restoring effect. It cleans the mind. Video games require manual dexterity. If someone is good at video games, their surgical skills might be good. If someone is a top-ranked video player and a surgeon, that's the guy I want. But yeah, he brings up some very important points because, okay, just make it all about me again for a second. When I was working with my dad on the hydrovac, okay, hydrovac is a piece of equipment that shoots, pressurized water into the ground in order to expose anything that's down there. It's a more elegant and less intrusive way of digging into the ground. It sucks a bag of dicks in the wintertime when the ground is frozen ice cold and you got to heat up the water in order to cut through the ground because somebody needs to see a pipeline to make sure that they don't drill right through the motherfucker. But it's a point in time that I wouldn't go back, but then also the experiences, it's not anything that I would trade for the world. And maybe the man who I am today, it gave me a good and strong work ethic, especially working multiple months in a row in the winter time without any rest, any days off, working 10, 12, 14-hour days. It was hard as hell, but yeah, it's something, it's that type of manual labor that really makes you respect how hard people can actually work and do work in order to put food on their table and feed their family and look after their kids. I'm never going to mock the working man because inherently I am the working man. Come from a long line of working men and a long line of working. Oh, no, wait, no. Elon brings up, a great point that games have a calming effect when you're working on something, when you're engaged with something. And I've experienced that recently in 2024 with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There's a point in time where, okay, yeah, I experienced that when you're going through a big boss battle, especially the first time that you can go through the boss gauntlet at the end. No spoilers or anything like that, but it's a very long, very difficult, very resource intensive battle. And it's fun as hell. You're in the zone, and that's a game that makes minutes turn into hours, into multiple hours, just like that if you aren't paying attention. Because it's all working together, it's all flowing. It's one of the best stories that I've ever experienced in my life. Full stop. Not games, nothing. Just that game it's something special. And I really look forward to putting out a proper long man review on it in the near future. But I digress. This is why a lot of people resonate with video games, because it's a full and holistic approach to engaging yourself into a medium. And this is why keeping these things ideologically sound and pure is so important, because you start to make everything a platform to dispense your message, then you end up undercutting the purpose of entertainment. People are smart enough to have these conversations. People are smart enough to engage with ideas, but sometimes they just want to take a step back and decompress. So when you want to continue to propagandize and politicize everything, people start to notice and people start to lash out, justifiably or not, because they just want to be left alone. We just want to play our games, and you freaks stay off on the sidelines. You want to pervert something, pervert your own games. But we've seen how that worked out well for you. Tales of Kenzara Zhao, Flintlock, how that working out for you. Unknown 9, exactly. In the dustbin, resigned to history. Just like these old pathetic ideas used to become. But now they've wormed their way into every institution, and that's why the Western games industry is in the state that it's in right now, because nobody told these idiots no. But now I think it's that time. If 2024 has taught us anything, that this ideology, it's failing on its face. It's getting to a point where it's absolute parody, and thanks to the likes of Konami taking corrective action, Korean and Chinese studios going, we don't want any of this stuff, and just offering good, clean excellent gaming experiences. There's hope. There's hope. There's just also going to be a lot of crap on the horizon, because if we've learned anything over these past 8-10 years, especially since the ascendance of Trump, that these guys aren't going to go quietly into the night. And this is but the first of many battles. But we can still, even though it's going to take a long time, there will be a lot of battles, we're still going to end up winning the war. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.